Sara Duterte is thanking her running mate for the education portfolio, but she's also hitting back at critics supposedly fabricating intrigues to break the uniteam. The presidential daughter admitted she initially wanted to be defense secretary, but said she decided to take on the education post to help develop skilled workers. So what should Sara focus on once she takes the helm of the Department of Education? Joining us now is Edilberto de Jesus, who served as Education Secretary from 2002 to 2004 under the Arroyo administration. Thank you so much for joining us, Secretary. Ano po ang reaksyon ninyo with the announcement that presumptive Vice President Sara Duterte will be the new Education Secretary?
Well, it's an interesting choice, not completely expected because Sara Duterte has not been known to be in that line of work. But I'm sure she knows a great deal about education. She has what? Maybe 20 years of formal education herself. She has had her children educated. You know, Rico, I was participating for about 6 years in the meetings of the Council of Southeast Asian Ministers of Education. And I remember one minister saying early in that term that every morning he takes a look at the newspaper to find out what people are saying because everyone has something to say about education. Everyone feels entitled to voice his views or her views on education.
So is the position of Education Secretary challenging? How difficult is the job when you were at it for 2 years?
That is one of the things that makes it difficult. It's a very complex bureaucracy. It's the largest in the government. A lot of people are interested in education, and therefore there is a large and very vocal and wide education constituency. And you remember. Pinoy campaigned as education minister, and there was a great deal of active involvement of the schools in this election.
So now that Sara Duterte is the education secretary, what should be her priorities?
Well, I think the problems of education are very well known to most of the public. And this is why the appointment is a bit, in a sense, risky, because the problems of education are so well known, and the improvements or lack of improvements are going to be very visible. There is a large constituency that has already been working on education issues. I think part of her challenge will be to be meeting those expectations from this constituency. And Congress
marami
has
po
already prepared to launch.
Marami po nagsasabi, Secretary, ang importante dyan ay pagpapalakas sa pag-aaral ng kasaysayan, culture, at panitikang Pilipino, gayon din ang mga leksyon tungkol sa kapayapaan, human rights, at indigenous peoples. At sakop rin dito yung usapin tungkol sa martial law.
Yun nga ang isang problema na hinaharap niya, no? Dahil sa kanyang association with Marcos Jr., kailangan ano ang kanyang magiging patakaran, ano ang kanyang magiging policy tungkol sa problema ng historical revisionism. Ano ang kanyang magiging policy tungkol sa concern over civic education and the rights and duties of both the citizens and the government officials.
But the bottom line is, kailangan rin natin siyang bigyan ng pagkakataon, ilatag ang kanyang plano para sa education before we make any final conclusions, if ever there will be any historical revisionism in the textbooks and in the way teachers...
Wala tayong narinig sa kanya Bongbong Marcos tungkol sa kanilang policy towards education. On the other hand, yung constituency nakalahad na yung plano, no? Kaya yun ang isang magiging problema. I think on some areas mayroong mabibigay na contribution si Sara Duterte. Halimbawa, there is an advocacy for greater decentralization of education, giving the local government more say in how the education department is run in their own areas. She should be quite supportive of that, having been a mayor herself, no? So that would be an advantage for her.
And of course, Secretary, ang pinagtutuunan ngayon ng pansin is if Sara Duterte will continue with her plan for mandatory military service for adult Filipinos and mandatory ROTC in schools and universities.
That is another problem because even the military is not persuaded na dapat gawin yon. Kahit yung mandatory ROTC for male students, hindi kaya ng AFP noon. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng problema yung ROTC. Lalo na kung gagawing mandatory for everyone.
At para sa mga guro, ano pang kailangan niyang gawin?
That's not possible.
At para sa mga guro, Secretary, ano pong kailangan niyang gawin?
Well, ang hinaharap nating problema ay napaka maraming aspeto, no? Halimbawa, yung kailangan ng mga guro ng additional training, kailangan nila ng additional resources, kailangan nila ng sistema. Pero tandaan natin na ang education crisis, ang learning crisis ay naging mas malala dahil sa pandemic. Pero nag-umpisa bago pa man tumama sa atin yung COVID-19, ano? Maliwanag ng malaki ang problema ng education na pinapakita ng mga large-scale assessment tests, international assessment tests na masama ang performance ng bayan sa reading at math, no? At ngayon lalo pang naging mas mabigat ang suliranin dahil nga sa pagdating ng pandemic, ang paghinto ng face-to-face instruction hindi naman kaya ng DepEd ng completely online instruction. So mabigat ang problema with the economic decline. Nagiging problema din yung capacity ng families to support their children, no? Kaya ang isang problema pa noon yung malnutrition among the students, no? Among the pupils na kailangang harapin.
Many challenges and problems ahead for the new Department of Education Secretary. Thank you so much for joining us, Edilberto de Jesus.